So I'm having difficulty putting this video together because honestly, I had to record a couple of them over due to the fact that I started crying unconditionally, because what I'm gonna go over is definitely no joke. Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my journey. I hope you enjoy every step of the way. If you want to be a part of my success, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below and the notification bell so you are notified of when I upload a new video. So today's topic, I am actually going to go over 2 health issues that I was diagnosed with. It took me a while to think this through on sharing because it's something very hard to talk about, and also a lot of people like to think it's just for attention, but I'm going to say this now, it is not. And anybody who is diagnosed with these issues, you are not alone. What I am sharing, I have battled for a very long time. Before medication, I had difficulty coping with it, but then once I was actually given the prescriptions from my doctor and prescribed the correct medications, it had actually gotten easier to deal with because the medication, to me personally, has helped. Now you are probably wondering, what does this have to do with my weight loss? Well, it actually has a big impact on my weight, unfortunately. So this is the reason why I want to talk about it. The 3 topics I'm going to talk about today is stress, anxiety, and depression, and how each one actually has a big impact on my weight. So I'm going to say this now because I am not a doctor. Everything that I'm going to discuss today was either from research that I have done online or from what I personally feel like it does to my weight. Now, everybody is different, so what I'm going to go over may not be the same for other people's diagnosis. Even though that we may have anxiety, depression, and stress, everybody takes everything differently, so not everybody is the same. So the first one that I want to go over is actually going to be stress. Everybody deals with stress, so this is not a diagnosis. The other 2 are, but this one is not. So basically, from the research that I have found online, stress can be caused by multiple things: work, life, family, friends, etc. There's just like a whole list of it that I'm not going to go into. And honestly, I can say my stress is probably from everything in life, because being an adult is the most hardest thing in the whole world. Sometimes I wish I could just wake up and be 4 years old again and not have to deal with any of this. Now, due to stress, there are a lot of side effects that people may experience because of it. Now, again, like as I said before, I am not a doctor, so I wouldn't know. This is just from research that I had found online, and I'm going to list only a few because I don't want to go through that whole list of side effects that people can get from stress. So the first one that was on the list that I noticed was nausea, and the reason I chose that topic was because I actually experience nausea when I get super stressed. It's rare when it happens, but when it does, I get very sick to my stomach and I feel like I'm gonna throw up. The best way I can explain it is actually when I get very stressed, I get like this really nauseated feeling right here in my face more than I do in my stomach. I don't know if anybody else experiences it, but like that's like the best way I can explain it. My head feels like it's being squeezed. And then right here, it feels like get that nauseated feeling all right here on my face. Like that's like the best way I can explain it. So that only happens when I get stressed. This one may be a little bit TMI, so you can fast forward if you don't want to hear it. But another thing too, from when I am stressed, I get constipated. I get really bad stomach cramps. Besides from the nausea feeling that I get from in my face, it actually makes me feel very constipated. And then when I go to the bathroom, I'm sitting there forever and nothing comes out, and then I'm just like, ugh. One thing that I do get a lot when I get stressed is muscle spasms. From the research I did online, this is actually a very common one in people. I'm not saying that everybody gets it, but this one was listed as a common side effect from stress. The only reason I know I have muscle spasms is I can just be sitting there and then all of a sudden like my body will start twitching. At nighttime when I'm sleeping, it gets very bad to the point I actually sometimes smack my boyfriend when I'm sleeping and I don't know it. The only reason I found out was because the next day he'll tell me you spaz a lot when you sleep, and then I feel bad because it's like, oh my God, I beat you up when you were sleeping. I'm so sorry. The last one this one was also on the list, and I feel like maybe everybody goes through this one, but basically you have unconditional crying. You're just so stressed that all you want to do is cry, and then you just continue to cry to the point you just get super dehydrated, and then you just like feel super exhausted and tired right afterwards. That happens to me a lot. I am a crybaby, I'm not gonna deny it. Now, with the second topic of stress, this one is, can stress cause weight gain? It can also do that as well. Now, there were a lot of side effects that were listed with weight gain from stress, but I didn't list all of them because they didn't apply to me at all. They may have applied to you, but I'm only listing the ones that have applied to me because I don't know how everybody else is, and I don't want to go through an entire list of things and then it's just like, I feel like I'm doing a presentation at this point. So the first one that I experience a lot with stress is poor sleep. So for weight loss, it's actually really important to get a good night's sleep. But when you're stressed, there's times where it'll make you stay up. For me, my stress sometimes can get so bad that I get really bad migraines and then I can't sleep. So then I'm up almost the whole night and then I'm crabby the next day. And then I'm sure you probably know what goes on from there. I believe I had mentioned this one a lot in my other videos, but when I get stressed, I go to food. That's like my comfort zone for me. So another weight gain that you can get from stress is increased appetite. When I'm not hungry, I still find myself in the kitchen, staring in the fridge, looking for something to put in my mouth just so I can eat something to help try to relax myself. Does it help? Definitely does not, because I feel like crap. So now the second topic I'm gonna go over is, can anxiety cause weight loss? It can, but then at the same time it can't. As I mentioned before, everybody is different, so it just depends, I guess, is the best way I can explain it. One thing that can cause weight loss with anxiety is if you're on medication. I'm not saying all medications can cause weight loss. I am not a doctor. I'm just stating from the research that I have found online. Certain medications can cause weight loss. Other medications can cause weight gain. Sometimes medication may just make you stay at the same weight you're at no matter what you do. Another one for weight loss for anxiety is it can reduce your appetite. For me personally, it rarely ever happens where I don't want to eat because of my anxiety kicking in, but when it does, there are times where I can go a whole day without eating and I just don't feel hungry at all. That is not healthy, and I know it's not healthy, but it's really, really hard to explain. People who have anxiety may understand. People who don't have anxiety may not understand. You would have to do the research online. But other than that, I really don't know how to explain that. Now, can anxiety cause weight gain? It can. And it can cause unhealthy eating habits. For me, just the same as stress, I will go to food for comfort. And it gets so bad to the point where I actually feel sick to my stomach because my anxiety gets really, really bad. There's times where my anxiety gets so bad that I just kind of have to sit there and let it pass because nothing I do seems to help. I'll go to eating, I'll try laying down and doing breathing techniques. I'm claustrophobic, but I'll try to isolate myself into a small area and try to relax there as well. And sometimes that doesn't even help either. But right now I'm actually focusing on trying to find some coping skills that can help my anxiety so I don't go to food to eat, because as of right now, everything else that I've tried has not helped. I've been doing research online. I think my next go-to will be good to go to my doctor, or not my doctor, my therapist, and asking what's a good coping skill that I should try to help to avoid going to food for comfort when my anxiety gets really bad and kicks in. Well, as I mentioned before with the weight loss, it depends on medication that you're taking. That if you're taking medication, I'm not saying you are, but if you are on medication, it can cause weight loss, it can cause weight gain, it can cause you to stay at the same weight. It just depends on the medication. Right now, the medication I'm actually on for my depression and anxiety, it's a med for both of them, is called venlafaxine. I believe I'm taking 75 milligrams of it, and I've noticed from taking it that it actually causes my weight to go up and down. So it seems like it doesn't know what it wants to do. But now that I'm taking phentermine, which was prescribed to me from my doctor, I take 15 milligrams of that, it seems my weight is finally found the correct direction it needs to go, which is down, and I hope that continues, because with the constant up and down of the weight, it's just so discouraging, and it's very upsetting, and it puts me down a lot. So I'm hoping that this doesn't affect, the medications don't affect each other. I've asked my doctor about it because my doctors know the medication I'm on, and they said that there's been no type of effect to it whatsoever. The third topic I'm going to talk about is, can depression cause weight loss? I had never experienced weight loss with my depression. I was diagnosed with depression first before I had been diagnosed with anxiety. That came years later on. But when I was diagnosed with depression, I noticed that, or I didn't notice that my weight was going up or down. But you can lose weight even when you're depressed. From the research I found online, it can be a very unhealthy way though, because depression can make you lose your appetite, which can make it lead to just hours of not eating, days of not eating, or even just weeks of not eating. And I'm going to ask this, or not even ask this, I'm going to say, if you are dealing with these issues, please seek medical attention, because it is not healthy. I had never experienced it, but I have had friends in the past who have done that due to their depression, and I literally had to beg them to get help because I did not want to lose them. I didn't. Depression is not a joke, and for anybody who finds it a joke, that's just very sad that you think it is. It really is, because you could have a family member who has it, and this may be going a little deep right now, but depression can lead to suicide, and you can end up losing that loved one. They can be the most happiest person one day, and the next day you can be finding out that they decided to kill themselves because you wanted to find depression as a joke, and it is not a joke. You need to do your research before you decide to go in someone's face that has had even the guts to go up and tell you they have depression because they were comfortable enough to tell you, and you wanted to say it's just a joke. You want it for attention, because depression, anxiety, basically any type of health issue is not a joke. Now to get back on topic, the second part of that is, can depression cause weight gain? From the research that I have found online, depression can actually cause an extreme amount of weight gain because you have a higher desire for sugary foods and caffeinated drinks. Due to the good feeling that you get from it, it can make that person feel like crap right after they had devoured or drank whatever it was that they had put in their system. I have actually experienced this with my depression when I was a teenager. And now that I look back on it, I am surprised I have not been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, heart issues, or just anything in general. And I thank God that I don't, because I'm glad I got myself fixed for this. So I have been depressed for as long as I can remember, but imagine for 3 straight years, every single day. There's 365 days in a year. So imagine that times 3 of drinking a pack of Coca-Cola, a 24 pack of Coca-Cola a day for 3 years. That is something I did because I enjoyed the sugary drinks, and I gained tremendous amount of weight because of it. And after my mom died, it got worse. And then after I moved in with my ex-best friend's aunt who took custody of me, it took her almost a total of 2 years to get me out of the habit of drinking soda. It was ridiculous. It was very hard. Now, thank God, I can only drink 1 soda a day. If I try to go 2, it just makes me sick to my stomach. So I'm glad I got the help I needed when I did, because honestly, I'm gonna be truthful, if my mom was still alive, I would probably still be drinking 24 packs of Coke a day. I wouldn't have the help I have now that I needed. To wrap everything up, again, I am not a doctor, so everything I had just basically went over with you was from research I had found online or from how I feel about it personally. Will this make me want to give up on my weight loss journey? No, it will not. I want to better myself, and knowing that I'm doing this weight loss journey, not only is it helping me physically, but it's also helping me mentally too. And in the long run, from other research that I have done online, people who had actually been overweight that were diagnosed with depression and anxiety actually ended up getting over it once they had lost all their weight. Sometimes depression and anxiety can be caused from overweight. Anyway, overall, I do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button down below. If you have any questions for me, you can always ask them down in the comments below. I am always willing to answer any questions that are given, unless they're very inappropriate questions and I'm just gonna delete them and act like they were never there. Other than that, I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Bye.